The Young and the Restless spoilers full Wednesday recap, the 20th of May, 2026. Welcome back to our channel, fellow Genoa City addicts. It's a beautiful day to grab a massive cup of coffee, sit back, and completely lose our minds over the latest drama. Let's get right into it. Oh my God, can we just talk about Victor Newman for a second? I am typing this at 2 a.m. because my brain is absolutely buzzing from Wednesday's episode and I cannot sleep. Victor Newman is officially off the leash, people. We have been watching him slowly, methodically squeeze Phyllis Summers out of every single market her company operates in. It's been a slow burn, right? Like watching a python wrap around its prey. But Wednesday was the moment the python decided to stop squeezing and just swallow the prey whole. Victor ordered Michael Baldwin to march, and when Victor gives Michael the green light with the full weight of Newman Enterprises behind him, you know somebody is about to get destroyed. I have been watching the show for over a decade, and let me tell you, there is nothing more terrifying in Genoa City than Michael Baldwin acting as Victor's loaded gun. Remember when Michael used to be this chaotic, unpredictable villain back in the day? He's evolved into this razor-sharp legal shark, and Christian LeBlanc is just chewing up the scenery. I mean, think about it. Michael isn't just delivering a message anymore. Victor is done playing the long game. He is done with the slow pressure. He wants blood. He literally wants his rivals to bleed. And honestly, I am entirely here for it. I know some people are exhausted by Victor always winning, but come on, this is what he does best. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's look at who this strike is aimed at. The spoilers say it's a rival, and this is the climax of the whole Phyllis and Cain clashing with Victor storyline. Phyllis thought she was so smart, didn't she? She thought she could outmaneuver the mustache. Even after the whole AI evidence fiasco where Christine got arrested, which, by the way, was an absolute masterpiece of a twist. Victor was just sitting in the audience, watching his pawn take the fall. He didn't even flinch. And now Phyllis is probably sitting in her office at Summers Group thinking she has a moment to breathe. Wrong. Victor is sending Michael to completely decimate her. Or is it Cain? Cain has been making these ruthless moves with Lily and Chancellor Winters, trying to use Malcolm's bone marrow as leverage. Maybe Victor is targeting Cain to consolidate power. Whoever it is, they are going to learn the hard way why nobody crosses Victor Newman and lives to tell the tale. I am literally vibrating with excitement for this showdown. Okay, back to the point, because we need to talk about the Newman family dynamics right now. Am I the only one who was completely sobbing during the scenes with Victoria and Nick? I'm sorry, but Amelia Heinle and Joshua Morrow deserve all the Emmys for this week. All of them. Friday's episode broke me when Nick finally admitted he was an addict. Our golden boy, Nick Newman, the one who was always supposed to be the moral compass of the family, is completely broken. He confessed to Victoria about the fentanyl, about Matt Clark giving him that bad dose in Vegas, about completely losing control. But Wednesday's episode? It took that raw confession and turned it into a gritty, painful interrogation. Victoria didn't just give him a hug and tell him it's going to be okay. No, she sat him down and asked the absolute hardest questions. How long can you stay clean, Nick? What does this family need to do to save your life? She was relentless. And honestly, I usually cannot stand Victoria when she gets into her high and mighty CEO mode. But right here, in this moment, she is exactly what Nick needs. He needs someone who isn't going to buy his lies. Because let's be real, addicts lie. Nick has been lying to himself, to Adam, to Sharon, to everyone. And the tragedy of it all is just so heavy. Remember when they tried a similar addiction storyline with other characters and it just felt rushed? This doesn't feel rushed. This feels like a slow motion car crash, literally. Considering what we know is coming with Nick driving off that cliff, when Victoria is interrogating him, you can see the sheer terror in Nick's eyes. He is terrified of his own mind. He is terrified of the cravings. He confessed that Sienna Bacall is the one selling him the drugs, which is a whole other level of crazy because Sienna is also Matt Clark's fanatical follower who attacked Phyllis. The web is so tangled. But back to Victoria and Nick. The tenderness mixed with the absolute brutal reality of addiction was stunning. Victoria is trying to save her brother before he ends up in a body bag. She knows Victor's tough love approach, where he just yells and demands perfection, isn't going to work. And she knows Nikki is going to completely fall apart. We've already seen the spoilers of Nikki screaming in the hospital. Victoria is the only one holding this family together right now, and I never thought I'd be cheering for her, but here we are. I am so emotional just typing this. It's gritty, it's necessary, and it is the best acting we've seen from these two in years. But wait, the emotional roller coaster doesn't stop there. We have to talk about Sally Spectra and Billy Abbott. I am so frustrated with this pairing right now. I could scream. Sally is sitting there, terrified, waiting for the reality of her pregnancy to sink in. And she is absolutely consumed by the fear of Billy's past haunting them. And honestly, she is right to be terrified. Let's look at the facts. Sally has been through hell. She lost baby Ava, a trauma that Courtney Hope has played so beautifully and tragically. She still blames herself for that loss. And now she's facing another pregnancy, but this time it's with Billy. Billy Boy Scout Abbott, who is actually a walking disaster zone. Sally knows his history. She knows he constantly makes terrible decisions, he never listens to anyone, and he has a horrific track record with relationships. But the absolute worst part, Jill Abbott. Can we talk about Jill for a second? Jill is going to make Sally's life a living nightmare if she finds out about this baby. Sally knows that Billy's mom is toxic, interfering, and deeply judgmental. Sally doesn't want her child growing up in that kind of chaotic, hostile environment. And Billy is just oblivious. He thinks he can just plan for the future and everything will be fine. Oh, we'll figure it out, Sally. No, Billy, you won't. You are going to self-destruct because that is what Billy Abbott does. I know some people are loving this pairing and think they have great chemistry, but personally, I think Billy is a ticking time bomb for Sally's mental health. She is seeking comfort from Audra Charles, of all people. When Audra Charles is your most stable emotional support system, you know your life is a mess. Audra, who is usually a ruthless corporate shark, is actually being a genuine, empathetic friend to Sally because she also suffered a miscarriage years ago with Noah. The fact that Sally feels safer opening up to Audra than to the father of her child speaks volumes. And the spoilers, oh my God, the spoilers about Billy and Jill doubting the paternity, pushing Sally to flee in the rain and crashing her car. I cannot handle it. Sally does not deserve this amount of pain. Why do the writers insist on torturing her? She is finally trying to build a life, a business, a future, and she is constantly dragged down by the men in her life. First Adam, now Billy. I am so mad at Billy right now, I can't even see straight. He better grovel for the rest of his life if he causes her to lose another baby. Let's just pause and take a breath. Okay, zooming out for a second. The writing on this show right now is firing on all cylinders, but it is also giving me massive anxiety. We have Victor orchestrating a corporate bloodbath through Michael Baldwin. We have Victoria desperately trying to pull Nick back from the brink of a deadly fentanyl addiction, while the ghost of Matt Clark and the very real threat of Sienna Bacall loom over them. And we have Sally Spectra, a woman who is just trying to survive her own grief, being pushed to the edge by Billy Abbott's chaotic baggage. It's like every single legacy family, the Newmans, the Abbotts, the Winters, is facing a massive crisis all at once. And I haven't even touched on Jack manipulating Patty Williams to get back at Victor. Like, Jack, what are you doing? You are playing with a woman who poisoned a child. The hypocrisy of Jack Abbott right now is astounding. He gets mad at Diane, but he's out here using Patty like a pawn. Everyone in Genoa City needs intensive therapy immediately. But going back to Victor and Michael, I really want to emphasize how brilliant this dynamic is. Christian LeBlanc brings this manic energy to Michael when he's unleashed. You can see the conflict in him. He wants to be a good man for Lauren, but the thrill of the kill when Victor hands him a target is just too intoxicating for him to resist. He is Victor's attack dog, and right now the leash is off. If Phyllis is the target, I almost feel bad for her. Almost, because let's be real, Phyllis brought this on herself. She poked the bear. She thought she could outsmart Victor Newman. Remember when she tried to fake her own death? Yeah, didn't work then either. Phyllis never learns, and now she's going to pay the ultimate price. I just hope Daniel and Summer don't get caught in the crossfire, though we know Summer's company is already taking hits. And Nick, poor, sweet, messed up Nick, Joshua Morrow is giving the performance of his career. The scene where he tells Victoria about the drugs, the shame in his voice, the way he couldn't even look her in the eye, it was devastating. You could feel the weight of the Newman legacy crushing him. Victor demands perfection, and Nick is finally cracked under the pressure. Victoria stepping up as the protective older sister is a dynamic we haven't seen explored this deeply in a long time. Usually, they are fighting over the CEO chair at Newman Enterprises, but right now, the corporate drama doesn't matter. It's about life and death. I am dreading what comes next for Sally. I really am. I've been a fan of Courtney Hope since she crossed over, and she brings such a raw, visceral emotion to Sally. The idea of her losing another child because of Billy's insecurities and Jill's cruelty is just sickening. I want Sally to win. I want her to have a happy ending. But this is Genoa City, and happy endings are just commercial breaks between tragedies. All right, I need to stop before I throw my laptop across the room. What do you guys think? Am I overreacting about Billy? Is Victor going too far this time, or is he totally justified? And please tell me someone else is crying over Nick and Victoria. Drop your thoughts. Let's argue. Let's vent. Because I need to know I'm not the only one losing sleep over these fictional people.